Hi everybody, welcome back to Exploring Food with Smitty. As you can see, it's going to be July 4th tomorrow, which is going to be my birthday. So what I'm doing for myself, which I haven't done, I don't think I've ever done, is I'm baking myself a birthday cake. So what I'm going to do is get my stuff together and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm getting ready to do is to combine 2 cups of flour in my mixing bowl, which is 1, and this would be 2, and then I'm going to add to that, I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar. Sugar. Thank you, Steve is helping me today. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
So, this is 1 cup of sugar. And it's 2 cups of sugar. Okay, so I've added 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of flour into my large mixing bowl. So I'm going to add some salt, which is going to be a half a teaspoon of salt. Let's see, let me find my half a teaspoon. There it is. This is really an impromptu video.
Yes.
Half a teaspoon of salt. I mean, sometimes you make your own birthday cake because then you get the kind of cake you want. And sometimes you don't like the way other people make cakes. I hate to say that, but it's true. Okay.
True?
True.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave this in here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it onto the mixing part.
Needing more flour.
I'm going to have to do something else. So I'll be right back.
More flour.
Okay, so to this pan right here, I'm going to add a stick of butter. And I didn't tell you the name of the cake that I'm making. It's a Mississippi mud cake. I had a friend that used to make these all the time, and I used to just love them. So that's butter. And then I'm going to use a half a cup of cocoa mix, which is the one without sugar. It's the bitter chocolate. Let's open this up. Like I said, this is an impromptu, so I'm just not going organized here. So that's a half a cup of cocoa mix. Okay, so here's my half a cup. Let's get that in there. Pour it in. Okay. Let's put the top on this. And let's move it out of the way. Okay. So, to this I'm going to add, I added my stick of butter, my cocoa mix, a 4th cup of water is what I'm going to need. And a half a cup of oil. So, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put in my half a cup of oil. I don't think I want to put in hot water. So, here we go with a half a cup of oil. To that, and then to that, I'm going to mix my 1/4 cup of water. 1/4 cup of flour. Okay, so that's about a 4th cup of water. So what I'm going to do is put this on the stove and bring it to the boil, and then I'm going to add it to my flour mixture. So I shall be back. Okay, so now that I've got my chocolate all melted, I'm going to pour it into my flour mixture. I'm going to keep this over here because I'm going to beat eggs. Okay, so let's pour this into my flour mixture. Like so. And then what I want to do is scrape it all out of the pan because I want it to all be in there. Okay, so I have that all combined in there. Let's put this over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add my 2 eggs into my vanilla. 1 egg. That's 2. And then to that, I'm going to add my baking soda. And I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of milk. And this is buttermilk.
Buttermilk? Okay. This one you get the milk.
Okay, so I'm going to beat all this together. Get the egg and everything incorporated. Okay, so I'm testing my chocolate because I don't want it to be too, and boy is it bitter. Ugh.
You got it all? No
So,
sweetness at all.
Not yet. So I'm adding the mixture, the egg mixture in. I have to say this is the weirdest cake I've ever made. And I've made a lot of cakes, but this one takes the cake. I'm going to let this up. I'm going to let it start to mix. And while this is mixing, I'm going to get my baking sheet ready. Okay, so what I've done is I've went ahead and I've oiled my baking pan, and I've gotten my pecans out to add to the mixture. And then once the cake gets done, I'm going to put marshmallows on top so that they can melt. So let me go ahead and open up these pecans. And that's mixing really well. Like I said, this is like the weirdest cake I've ever made. But it's for my birthday. Mississippi mud cake. Open these up. You don't allow that. Something like this. Okay, so it's all mixed up. Look at how rich and creamy it looks. And I added in some pecans, and then I saved some to maybe put on top. So I'm going to pour this in here. It's not really a sweet cake. I think what makes it sweet is the marshmallows. If you've had s'mores before, those things are sweet. Okay. So the cake is in the pan. And I'm going to put it in the oven on 350 for 25 minutes. Okay, so in the oven it goes. So I have taken the cake out of the oven. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down so you can see. There. Since it's a Mississippi mud cake, you put marshmallows over. And then what I'm going to do is put the marshmallows over so that they can start to melt. And if this doesn't work, I'll probably put it back in the oven. And then what's going to happen is the marshmallows are going to melt. And then after the cake cools, I'll be putting chocolate frosting on it with nuts. So these don't look like they're doing anything here.
I'll just put it back in the oven.
So since they're not melting on their own, what I'm going to do is put it back in the oven for a little bit and let them melt. That's okay. Okay, so for the marshmallows to completely melt or start to melt, I put it back into the oven, and with the radiant heat, the oven's not on, but with the radiant heat, that should melt the marshmallows. Cake looks with the marshmallows on.